Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5-minute or less video. I worked at IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice for 4 decades. I've been doing this for 50 years. I have a whole team of former IRS agents on staff, and we do represent you for anything from an IRS notice or letter, or even a going to tax court. I've been on TV a bunch of times. You can look at my videos at 777irs.com. You can visit my team and know everything about us. So we are available for representation. You can contact us below. I do these videos, by the way, for 3 reasons: to educate you, number 1, to inform you and as to how an insider from the IRS will feel about an issue, and number 3, so you don't in fact get ripped off from other companies, in fact, that are out there that do a fine job. Anyway, today I want to talk to you about IRS tax relief and the 3 major programs IRS has for tax relief. As a former IRS agent revenue officer, I was involved in all 3 of these programs and I worked them, so I'm here to try to give you general information or maybe a couple insights into insider information so you know how they work. As a former agent, I worked 3 programs you need to know about, and the major programs for tax relief are the currently non-collectible. That's a very important word, currently non-collectible. You can say hi to my cat there. It's actually someone else's cat. But anyway, currently non-collectible, payment agreement, or the offer and compromise. So there's 3 ways you're going to resolve your IRS debt. So basically what happens if you in fact have an IRS debt, IRS has to close your case in one of those 3 ways. You can have your statute of limitation going, or you can file a bankruptcy. But today, these are the 3 major categories. Let me talk to you today about currently non-collectible and what that means. If you cannot pay your debt, IRS has this program. We call it hardship inside the IRS, where you can't pay the debt. Well, how do you get into a hardship program or are currently non-collectible? Very, very simple. You give IRS a financial statement on a form 433F at the service center, and they will look over that form, and if they determine that you're currently non-collectible, they will write your case off for 2 or 3 years. Your case usually can come back to the field in a couple years, and when the case comes back, they will take another financial statement and make a determination if they can collect money from you. Sometimes the cases die a peaceful death and the case never comes back. What do you need to know about the hardship or currently non-collectible program? A couple things. Penalties, interest continue to run, and IRS will grab your refund. If you want to go ahead and adjust your W-4 and not have as much taken out, IRS in fact will not go ahead and get a refund. The real important thing that you really need to know on this currently non-collectible is that IRS has a set of standards that you must know about. And you must know about the IRS National Standard Program. And what that means is IRS are only going to allow you certain expenses for so many categories. For instance, IRS is only going to allow you so much money for food and clothing, so much money for housing and utilities, for your car payment, and to drive the car around. IRS is going to lock you into these standards. As long as you live within those standards, then you'll be fine. I've done videos on the IRS National Standards. If you want to know what the IRS National Standards are, just go ahead and put in your toolbar IRS National Standards for housing. IRS National Standards for food, IRS National Standard for car payment, IRS National Standard for operating expenses. Those are the 4 categories of expenses that they will allow. So once you understand what they allow for food and clothing, housing and utilities, car payment, and operation costs, you're going to understand if IRS will write your case off. So it's if you don't have anything and you're broke and you're struggling, you're probably going to roll right into that program. But don't don't call them unless you know what the IRS national standard is. If not, you may find yourself with a couple $1,000 payment agreement you're not expecting. So that's a word of caution to you from an insider. The other thing you can do is get a payment agreement. Many people can go online if you want to pay the liability off in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever years. You can go on and make an online payment for free. If you can't make that payment and you have unusual circumstances, you can call IRS, give them a financial statement. You'll have to live within those national standards, but if you're making a lot of money, your case is a little tricky, you'll probably need to call someone like us or your own accountant. And then lastly, you have the offer and compromise program. The offer and compromise program is being sold like newspapers are being sold on every corner. Be really careful about the offer and compromise program. There's a very specific way IRS accepts offers and compromise. I used to teach the offer program at IRS. Here's my word of caution to you. If you're going to call a firm, you're not going to call us. Make sure your person you're talking to is a tax attorney, a CPA, enrolled agent, or former IRS agent who knows what the program is, and you should submit your financial statement to them that IRS is going to review. Once you go ahead and do that, and they say it's a given, IRS will probably accept that. Ask what they're going to accept for. When you do these, a lot of times, like we do, we know exactly what IRS is going to settle for. Be very careful. Be very careful when you contact a bigger company, because you're speaking to usually salespeople who can get into your back pocket, promise you the moon, and you really don't know what's going on. Anyway, those are the three programs. You have the currently non-collectible, currently you have the payment agreement, and the offer and compromise, or the debt settlement program. If you need to retain us, you can, or ask us questions. My contact information is below. If this information was of value, I'd love for you to give me a subscription. YouTube thrives on us getting subscriptions. We have a whole bunch of content, and I hope some of it helps you. Anyway, give me that subscription. Give me a comment. Give me something you want me to do for you on YouTube. I'm happy to take a look. Thank you very much.